Hey, what's going on, folks? Hope you're doing super well and you're having a fantastic start to your week. So, just about to dive into some quick tailored feedback on a couple of questions that were asked yesterday over on the post that I put out. But before I did that, I thought I'd let you know how I'm going to structure this out. So, there is some clarity around how you can get feedback on your questions. So, there is already a question and answers thread over in the group. So, if you open the Hunters Content Bootcamp community, at the top of the page, you'll see all of the announcements. So, if you scroll through that, there's already a wins thread. There's a bonus thread where you get all your bonuses, and there is actually a question and answers thread. So continue to utilize that as much as you need to, be it daily, weekly, bi-weekly, however often you need to ask questions, just drop them over in there and I'll give you direct tailored feedback on whatever your questions are. Okay. And then alternatively, what I'm going to do is do a post like I did yesterday, which I'll drop over in the group once per week. And then if there are any questions, I'll shoot back some tailored feedback like this on a Tuesday. Okay. So I did actually run a poll towards the end of last year just to check which style was going to work better. And I think, depending on your bandwidth and where you're at in your business, it does work to have both sort of structures in place. So I'm happy to utilize them both. So if you've got anything that you need any sort of clarity on, be it long form written content, long form video content, short form video content, feel free to drop it over in the group and I can definitely give you feedback on hooks, CTAs, the meat and potatoes, how to structure things out. Make sure to tag me in those things so I see it, and then I can at least come back to you with that tailored feedback. So let's dive straight into it. So both Darren and Brett had very similar questions around, how to structure their content for their offers. So Daz is actually rolling with his own community group, which will be front end coaching for all of his clients called Shoal. Okay. With an ascension plan into his other offers, etc. So he's already got hand raisers and he's actually looking at building out things in a public way now. So really wants a content strategy and plan for that. And Brett is in the process of building out his first offer. You did have a question there about utilizing Flate's program for the offer. So I would definitely jump into the offer creation training that's inside Group Juice, alongside Predictable Profits, the Predictable Profits framework. Both of those things combined is really going to give you structure for your offer. And we can just roll on exactly the content strategy and style that you can use. So you would definitely, both of you, be leaning into this as you take these offers live, right? So the first thing is you really want to be diving into different angles that you can use in your content style, right? And you can use these both. So even though you are taking it public and to the front end of your business with your profile, you also want to be doing this over in your group. So the first thing is you really want to dive into the angle of what is it? Okay, what is your offer? Now, one thing I suggest you do is perhaps create a video sales letter, which you can pin to your group, okay, and can be used as a lead magnet on the front end of your business as you've actually built it out. So when I first rolled out with Hunters Content Bootcamp, I did a short 11-minute video breaking down exactly what the offer was about. And that's still pinned to my group today. I've just used it as a lead magnet on the front end of the biz, which grew the group by about, I would say, 15 new members. So definitely works, number one, as a lead magnet for folks to check out in your group. But number two, so that folks know exactly as they come into your world what it is that you do. So it's kind of pre-selling on your brand as a whole anyway. And by actually doing that VSL, it gives you a lot of different content styles that you can use on the front end of the business because you've already broken it all down. So it's really just taking extractions from your VSL to use on the front end of the business in the different angles that you'll use with your leads, right? So you really want to be diving into who it's going to be for, and I would get super specific about that as well, so that you make sure that you extract the audience that's going to vibe with what you've got going on, and so that you deter people that are not there for the right reasons. So go heavily into who it's for on the front end of the business. Why is it different to everything else that's going on? Okay, what makes it special? What sort of support are you going to be giving in there? What sort of results can you speak to? Really dive into why it's going to be different for them and why they should go with your product. You always want to continue to put the perceived value up of your offer so that folks actually pull the trigger and get moving with you, right? Why did you actually create it? Why have you started the offer? What's in it for you? It's important for people to understand, have clarity around why you do the things you do in your business as well. What will it help them achieve? Okay, what's it going to help them do? Is it going to help them eliminate certain parts of their process? Is it going to help them, add things to their process which makes things easier? Is it going to help them get sales? Is it going to help them with offer creation? Is it going to help them with group growth? So there's many different angles that you can lean into of where you're actually going to help folks, so that it's really targeted when it comes down to people. And again, it's going to really extract the audience that's vibing with you and eliminate the audience that is not into doing things like group monetization or removing sales calls or things like that. So there's a lot of angles that you can lean into depending on what your offer is about. Okay, what are the outcomes? Okay, what again, is it going to help them with cash flow? Is it going to help them with group growth? Go heavily into the pains that it's going to eliminate for people. A lot of people that are looking for something have challenges and things that they're going through, and they really want to have clarity around if what you do is actually going to help them move from that point to pleasure. Right? What are the deliverables? Are you running this in a group setting? Are you giving them coaching support? Are you giving them templates? Are you giving them bonuses? Are you giving them resources? How are you actually delivering what you've packaged in the offer? Okay, what's the price point? You can definitely, as you move through sort of a promotion phase in the business to get that offer out, you can be talking about the price publicly. I wouldn't do it on every single post, obviously, but you definitely want to put that out there so folks know exactly what it's going to cost them. I never go too heavily on price, but I definitely do build it into the overall content plan. So I would definitely, probably 1 out of 5 is probably what I would say is the balance that I'm using at the moment with putting the price out when I'm using a promo. Okay. What is the duration of your offer, right? Does it run for 10 months? Is it going to run for 1 month? Is it monthly? Is it going to go for a year? I was super specific with the 10-month duration with the content bootcamp. So I would definitely let folks know exactly how long it's going to run for. And even if it is going to be lifetime, a lifetime access to things, you want to let them know. And I would just be putting that everywhere. Okay, you want to be chatting about this on every single available platform that you can as part of that structure. So definitely go very heavy on your short form video content. Keep it short, keep it punchy. You can repurpose what you're talking about on the front end of the business anyway. So talk into those outcomes, deliverables, who it's for, why it's different. And I would just be blasting it. If you've got the bandwidth to do 3 to 5 videos a day, I would definitely be doing that and then repurposing it across all the channels that we've spoken about, because it gives you major visibility and gives people major awareness around what you're doing. Okay, you can definitely be repurposing all of those reels on stories, but I would also be doing, sort of flat templates on stories as well to let folks know what you're doing. If you've got testimonials that you can drop, extra bonus. If you've got clients that you're working with already, if you don't have clients of your own, you can lean straight into community results. Share the fact that that person's actually done X by using your strategy, right? So you really want to be blasting all of those type of things in your stories as well. I would definitely be using purple posts. Now you can be using purple posts for 2 reasons. Okay, number 1 is to get hand raisers on specific content, but also so that you continue to feed the front end of your business and continue to have group growth, so that there's always room for fresh eyeballs on your brand, and so you continue to feed them. Because you can go through like a long promo of building this out, especially you dads with building out Shoal. I would definitely say you're probably going to be running with this for 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. So you want to make sure that you continue to have newer folks coming into your world anyway, so that once you're out of this promo phase, you've still got fresh leads to actually talk to, right? And yeah, purple posts work really, really well for hand raisers in the business as well. And then your long form written content, I would obviously be using lots of different elements. I'd be going super heavy on the value, super heavy on your wins, student wins, client wins, things like that. Results, anything that's going to feed your offer and how it's going to help people achieve certain things, right? You want to be super mindful of the hooks. So, if they've got X challenge, what will the outcome or solution be? I would be digging quite heavily into pain points with this type of strategy, just so folks get deep clarity around what it is it's going to serve them with. So make sure you've got hooks in mind so folks continue to read through the rest of the content. And your call to action is going to be super important as well. So that can lean into things like they can check out your VSL. Okay. And like I mentioned, it's really going to keep your lead flow going into your group and feed the top end of your business flow so that there's always more people moving through things, right? You can definitely put a CTA for folks to check out your offer doc, which is going to segue into the DMs so you can have a quick conversation back and forth and see if they're the right fit to actually send the offer doc to and send it directly. But equally, you could actually just test putting the offer doc out there publicly and just letting people read it. You won't be able to track who's actually seen it, but you will get more people's eyes onto your actual offer as a whole. And then again, just by having a convo, right? You can put a CTA for folks to raise their hands so that they can have a no pressure conversation with you in the back end and have clarity around what you're doing. So quite a few things that you can lean into here, a lot of different angles. Daz will obviously continue to talk about this more throughout the week and probably on our call, our one-to-one call on Friday. So yeah, any questions around that, just let me know over in the DMs. We can definitely shoot a bit more conversation about it. And Brett, I hope this is helpful for a bit of idea of your content flow as you build out your offer. But I would definitely go through those trainings first, just so you've got clarity around building out your offer doc first. And even further than that, before you build out your offer doc, is to really get clarity around what your audience is needing, right? Happy to chat a bit more back and forth around what your offer is going to look like in the DMs, whether you're going to be going with an affiliate offer or an offer of your own, and how you can actually stack that and build that out. So let me know, and happy to, have more convos about that. Other than that, hope you guys have a good day, and we'll catch you soon.